Hi there. Why live in an RV? Okay, I'll try and do this really, really quick. First of all, let's look at the economics. Rent is throwing money away. I'm not going to say any more on it. It is. Mortgages are expensive. For whatever you take, the amount you take out on a mortgage, even with the, not so much with the rates right now, but usually the rates are such that you're basically paying double for that money you're borrowing. It's a ripoff. Out and out, it's a ripoff. You have no control over grid charges or infrastructure charges for your utilities. You're stuck there. If they all of a sudden skyrocketed, well, okay, you're putting the house up for sale. You're throwing 6% out to a real estate agent. Potentially you're losing money. Hopefully you're gaining money or at least breaking even if you're lucky. Why do it? You know what? If you keep your fuel usage down, living in an RV can be very cost effective, even compared to an inexpensive apartment. Just out and out. If you're careful about what you're buying or whatever, you know what? This can be a very inexpensive way to live. There's just no goofing around. With living on a boat, you got to be a lot more careful, but with an RV, it's a little easier to keep into that if you kind of followed the strictures I laid out in living in a Class B RV, the other video. Go watch it if you haven't, if you're interested in it. If you're going to own and insure a vehicle anyway, even if you're living in renting an apartment, why not make it something you can live in and skip the renting in an apartment? That's simple. If you're going to, spend a little bit more and get an RV, why not? It's kind of a no-brainer that way. You don't have to worry about buying furniture and stuff like that. Pick the right layout in the RV you get. Learn to live with and adapt to whatever is the current setup. Move stuff around, shuffle around, but you don't have to constantly worry about furniture. Once in a while you can recushion it and change the interior a bit, but you don't have a lot of space to work with, particularly if you're in a Class B like me. There's only so much you can do with it. Quality of life. You know what? You have freedom. Freedom for me is priceless. I hated living in a house and being nailed down to it, cutting the lawn, so on and so forth. There's none of that with this. House cleaning is really quick in this too. I really like that part. No lawn to cut. Love it. Excuse me. You're not tied down and you're mobile. There's a nice feeling to being able to turn the key and take off. If you're watching this video, you probably already get that part. You get a variety of scenery. Yeah, I come to this spot quite a bit. Why? Because I like it. I also like hanging out by the ocean side, so you'll see me kind of hanging around there quite a bit. And you'll see people making comments that, oh, we saw you down by so-and-so or whatever, and we see you there a lot. Yeah, if there's a nice spot, I'll go hang out there during the day if I possibly can. Why not? Go live at the waterfront for a little while. That's great. Likewise here. You have that freedom to go do that. I like having a different scenery. If you're lucky, you get an apartment with, nice scenery or a nice location. Likewise, a house. You pay a lot for it. If you're lucky enough, you can do it. With an RV, you can change your scenery. You get tired of it, go somewhere else. I love being able to do that. Living in an RV also has you're kind of forced to have a small footprint and keep things simple. You really have no choice. You can't gather a lot of clutter. There's somebody that gathers that kind of stuff. You know what? Just like living in a boat, this could be a very healthy transition for you, because you have no choice. You cannot do that. If you do, very soon you'll be looking for ways to get rid of it. You have no choice. So it is kind of a cool way to live that way. You can live where you want. Turn the key and go. Kind of ties in with freedom. Another kind of advantage is you can easily move to better job opportunities. If you're in a situation where you don't have jobs in one specific city, you can move around really easy. When one job ends, you can just turn the key, go. There's not the whole hassle. So if you're in a situation like that, if you could possibly pull it off, RV living is kind of a no-brainer. And when I mean, can you pull it off? There's obviously many provinces in Canada where in the winter months, you do not want to be living in an RV. There's just really kind of no way to get around it. Minus 40 is minus 40. You know, unless you box the thing in and take an awful lot of precautions, it's pretty much impossible. I know from personal experience, when you cross the threshold of minus 20 Celsius and go below that, a lot of things become really difficult. Things that were previously simple become complicated. It's just, you know what, you're better off not doing it. If you got wheels, turn the key and get out of there. Come to the West Coast. A couple other things I guess I should mention. Not really reasons per se, but things that make me feel warm and cozy. I don't like contributing money to the banks. I'm not a big fan of the banks. The more money we give them, the more money they gamble, and the more money we end up handing them for their gambling habit to bail themselves out. And if you're a U.S. citizen, I'm sure you can understand this. So why give them money? Stop giving them money and they'll stop getting us in trouble. And I can say the same for private utility companies. They seem to get us in trouble if we give them money. So let's not. Like, the heck with them. And kind of the same for the insurance companies. The more money these entities seem to have, the more political pull they have, and the more trouble they get us into. Let's stop giving them money. This is an easy way to stop doing it. Is it a reason to go do it? Like a big reason? Not really. But it makes me happy not to give them that money. It's kind of like, the heck with you guys. You're being jerks. You're being stupid. And you're taking money that's not yours. The heck with you. I also don't like being in the city all the time. You know, just for convenience and just the way it works, most dwellings are built in the city in a great big tight cluster. It's efficient that way. I don't like living there, to be honest. Not all the time. I can pull it off when I'm stuck working or whatever, and you're busy and you're doing stuff. But if I have free time, I don't want to be there. I'd rather be out here if I have spare time. So this is where I go. Living in an RV, I can do it nice and quick. Turn the key, gone. And I think what it comes down to is, why not? You know, if you try this and all of a sudden it doesn't work, you hate it. If you're careful about what you've purchased, you can sell it pretty quick. RVs, you know, if you're asking the right money, you should be able to sell it within 6 months and not lose your shirt, unless you've chosen badly or dumped a lot of money into it that perhaps you shouldn't have. For the most part, you can make some of your money back. Not an investment per se, but on the quick and easy, yeah, you can pull some of your money back. And you know what? If you've managed to live in it for 6 months, that 6 months rent you didn't pay. All of a sudden, you have a lot more flexibility on your little living experiment. And I guess that's where I'm going to leave the video is, you know what? If you don't like it, you can flip it. Pretty simple to do with an RV. Not so simple with a boat, and much more difficult with a house. And with rent, you know what? You're not getting any money back from moving. It's just out and out expense. So I'll leave it at that. Why not? Anyway, from Vancouver Island, have yourself a good day.